Rain fell hard on the city of Zader. Cold wind blew through the narrow alleys between tall metal buildings. The streets were quiet, almost asleep, except for one man. James, a human mechanic, walked home late after fixing a cargo hauler at the spaceport. He kept his coat close to his body as the cold rain soaked everything. His boots splashed through muddy puddles, and his breath came out like smoke dot as he passed near the back of the alien hospital. Something made him stop. He heard it again, a soft sound, like a whimper. A weak cry. He looked toward the dark alley. Beside the building, trash bins were lined up, broken boxes and medical waste dumped without care. Then, he saw something small, curled up near the wall, half covered by a dirty silver blanket. James stepped closer. Carefully, it wasn't trash. It was a girl. An alien girl. Her skin was pale purple, her hair messy and stuck to her face with rainwater. She was shivering, her body thin and bruised. Her arms were chained loosely, as if she had once been tied tightly. A tag was attached to her blanket. James squinted in the dim light. It read, "Unresponsive. Do not treat. Disposal." Approved. James felt anger rise in his chest. Disposal? She's not garbage. He whispered to himself. He quickly knelt down beside her. Her chest moved slowly. She was alive, but just barely. "Hey," he said softly, tapping her cheek. "Can you hear me?" Her eyes fluttered open for a second. They were glowing. Faintly, but she didn't speak. James looked at the back door of the hospital. Lights were on. He stood and banged on the metal door. Bang. 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 A grumpy alien nurse opened the door a few moments later. Her skin was green and covered in tiny glowing lines. "What do you want, human?" she asked. "There's a girl outside your door," James said. "She's alive. She needs help." The nurse glanced behind him. Double quotes. "Oh, that one," she shrugged. "She was inside earlier. Didn't respond to treatment. Useless case. We don't waste resources." James stared at her, shocked. "You're just leaving her there, in the rain?" "She's not our problem anymore," the nurse said coldly. "We follow orders." And with that, she slammed the door shut. James clenched his fists. His jaw tightened. The rain got heavier, as if the sky was angry too. He turned back to the girl. She was still breathing. Barely. He couldn't leave her. He WOD in single quotes. James gently picked her up in his arms. She was light, too light, like someone who hadn't eaten in days. Her body was warm but trembling. "Don't worry," he whispered. "You're not going to die here." But he couldn't take her to a hospital. Not one on this alien planet. They had made it clear they didn't care, he thought quickly. There was only one person he trusted. Clara. A retired vet who once helped creatures from Earth, and sometimes strange alien pets too. She lived a few blocks away, near the market area. Her clinic was small, but she had knowledge and heart. James ran. Rain poured down on him. The alien girl's head rested on his shoulder, her body limp. People on the street stared, but no one stopped him. Some even looked away. Cowards, he thought. Finally he reached Clara's clinic. The door had an old chime that rang when he pushed it open. Clara was sitting inside, sipping warm tea and reading a data screen. Her white hair was tied back, and her glasses were slipping down her nose. "James," she looked up. "What the hell?" "I need help," James said, voice urgent. "She's dying." Clara stood up quickly and cleared the examination table. James laid the girl down gently. Clara examined her quickly. "She's alien," Clara said. "Not just that. She's been hurt, abused. She was left outside the hospital," James said. "They called her unresponsive. Told me she was trash." Clara's eyes narrowed. "Trash? No, she's a child." She pulled out medical tools and went to work. IVS, scanners, heat pads, everything she could use. James stood nearby, watching, helpless. The girl's chest moved slowly. Too slowly. Clara frowned. Her vitals are dropping. We're losing her. No. James moved forward. You can't let her die. I'm trying, Clara snapped, hands working fast. But her body's shutting down. I need a charge stim. Hand me that box. James grabbed it and passed it to her. She placed it over the girl's chest and activated it. A jolt of energy. Her body jumped slightly. Nothing. Another jolt. Still nothing. Clara sighed, her hand hovering over the switch. Come on, little one. Then. A soft beep. The monitor showed a heartbeat. Weak, but real. James exhaled. Clara smiled barely. She's not out of danger, Clara said. But she's fighting. James looked at the girl's face. Her eyes were closed again, but her fingers twitched like she was trying to hold on. You're not trash, he whispered. You're someone. And I won't let them throw you away. Clara had stitched up wounded wolves, saved gasping birds, and once even treated a space lizard with 2 hearts. But she had never seen anything like this. The alien girl on her table was more than strange. She was a mystery wrapped in pain. She's not just sick, Clara muttered, moving her scanner over the girl's skin. She's been through hell. James stood in the corner, dripping water onto the floor, still catching his breath. Clara glanced up at him. Where exactly did you find her again? Behind the hospital, James said. They threw her out, like garbage. Clara clenched her jaw. What kind of doctors do that? She peeled back the wet cloth that covered the girl's body. What she saw made her pause. Scars, fresh and old. Some healed by time. Some still raw. And glowing veins, faintly golden. Almost like light moving through her skin. James stepped closer. What is that? Clara zoomed in with her scanner. I've never seen this before. It's not normal. It's not natural either. The Viva girl suddenly coughed. Her whole body jerked. James jumped. She's awake? Clara rushed to her. No, not fully. But she's trying to breathe again. That's good. That's very good. She attached a breathing mask to the girl's face. The machine hissed softly. Come on, little one, Clara whispered. You're not done yet. Outside, the rain kept falling. But inside the clinic, a strange calm filled the room. James walked over to the scanner's screen. Do you think she's one of those hybrids? Clara looked at him sharply. James explained. I've heard rumors. Secret experiments. Alien mixing with human DNA. Hidden projects. Clara looked back at the girl. If that's true, she's more than just unwanted. She's dangerous to someone. That's why they want her gone. James stared at the girl's fragile form. She didn't ask for this. No, Clara agreed. She didn't. Clara tapped buttons on the scanner. Blood results came up. Her eyes widened. What? James asked quickly. Her body's breaking down, but trying to fix itself at the same time. It's like she has built-in repair tech inside her. James blinked. You mean like healing? More than that, Clara said. It's single quotes S. Advanced. Beyond anything I've seen. But it's failing. She needs help. Just then, the clinic lights flickered. Bzzd. Then again. James looked at the ceiling. That's not normal. Clara frowned. We're off the grid. Someone might be trying to tap into our power. The girl twitched again. Her lips moved. Clara leaned close. What is it? Say that again. Very softly, the girl whispered. They will come. Clara and James froze. James knelt beside her. Who will come? Tell us. But the girl's eyes rolled back. She passed out again. Clara stood up fast. James, if someone's looking for her, and they know she's not dead. They'll come to finish the job, James finished. His face pale. A loud ping came from Clara's wall terminal. Incoming message. It was from the alien hospital. One line. Surrender the subject. She is unstable and unauthorized. James stared at the message. They know she's here. Clara growled. They must have tracked her ID chip. I thought you disabled it. I thought I did, Clara said. But she's not like others. Her system keeps turning things back on. What now? James asked. We need to move her. Now. James nodded. There's an old warehouse near the fuel docks. Nobody uses it. I have keys. Clara looked at the girl. We'll have to carry her carefully. James stepped forward. I'll do it. He picked her up again. Her body was warmer now. Less limp. Her breath was steady. Hold on, kid, he whispered. We're not done. They wrapped her in dry blankets and left the clinic. Through the back door. The streets were wet and quiet, but shadows moved on the rooftops. Above, something or someone was already watching. The first thing James noticed was that her blood wasn't red dye, it was silver, not dark, not blue, not even purple, like most aliens on this planet. No. It shimmered like liquid metal. Clara, James said, holding up the used bandage. Her blood, what is this? Clara looked up from the old terminal she was using inside the dusty warehouse. That's not normal. That's not even alien normal. The girl, still unconscious, lay on a thin mattress. Her breathing was steady now. Her skin had more color, and the strange glowing lines under her skin had returned brighter this time. Clara rushed over with a small scanner. She moved it slowly over the girl's body, her face getting more serious with each beep. James watched her carefully. Talk to me. Clara took a deep breath. Her cells, they don't break like ours. They repair themselves instantly, almost like nanobots. James frowned. So she's part machine? No, not quite, Clara said. She's biological, but someone changed her on purpose. This isn't evolution, it's engineering, you mean. Someone made her this way. Clara nodded. She's a living project. They both looked down at the girl. She looked peaceful. For now, but James couldn't shake the feeling that something inside her was holding back a storm. She has human DNA. Clara added quietly. James froze. You're sure? Clara turned the screen to show him. One half of the scan glowed green. The other was unmistakably human. 50-50, Clara said. She's a hybrid. James stared at the sleeping girl. Do you know what this means? He whispered. Clara nodded slowly. That's why they threw her away. James felt sick. They hate humans. She's one of us. And one of them, so they rejected her. They didn't just reject her, Clara said. They wanted her erased. As if hearing them, the girl moved. Her fingers twitched. Her head shifted slightly. And then her eyes opened. Golden. Not glowing like before, shining. Like two tiny stars staring into James' soul. James knelt beside her, speaking softly. Hey, can you hear me? She blinked. Her lips moved. Why? She asked in a weak voice. James leaned in. Why what? Why? Did you come back for me? James paused. Because no one else did, he thought. But he just said, because you're alive. That's enough. The girl's eyes filled with tears, but they didn't fall. Instead, they slid upward and vanished into her skin. Clara watched in awe. That's not just emotion. Her body recycles moisture. She's designed for survival. James looked at her. Who could have made someone like this? Clara answered slowly. A secret lab, government, military, someone with power. But here's the scary part. What? She doesn't even know who she is. The girl suddenly clutched her head. Too loud. Too loud. What's loud? James asked gently. She pointed to her temple. Voices, codes, memories that aren't mine. Clara grabbed a scanner. Again, she's hearing stored data. Someone uploaded information into her brain, but it's not stable. The girl's body began to shake. James grabbed her hand. Focus, breathe, you're safe. I don't want to die, she whispered. You won't, he promised. Not with us. Clara adjusted a sedative patch on her arm. Slowly, the shaking stopped. Her body relaxed again. James stood up, fists tight. They built her, broke her, then threw her out when she scared them. Clara nodded grimly. Now they want to erase their mistake. And they know we have her. Just then, a soft sound came from the old warehouse wall. Beep, beep. James turned. A blinking red light on the security system. Someone just scanned. The outer gate, Clara said. They're here. James grabbed a wrench. It was the only weapon nearby. Get ready. Clara moved to hide the girl behind stacked crates. She whispered, "Don't make a sound, sweetheart." The girl's golden eyes stared into the dark, already glowing brighter. As if something deep inside her had just woken up. It started. With a smell, not smoke, not rain. But ozone-sharp electric. Like lightning had kissed metal. James froze. That smell didn't belong in an empty warehouse. It's them, the girl whispered from behind the crates. Her golden eyes didn't blink. Clara checked the door control on her small screen. No signal. They've jammed our systems. James stepped away from the wall. They're not breaking in through the front. Crash. The glass window above exploded. A long, shadowy figure dropped in, landing like a spider. No sound, no hesitation. It wasn't a soldier. It was a hunter. Its black armor shimmered, shifting colors to blend with the dark. No face, just a glowing red slit where eyes should be. James grabbed a metal pipe from the ground. He held it tight even though he knew it wouldn't be enough. The hunter scanned the room silently. Then it spoke in a chilling voice. Return the hybrid, now. Clara stepped forward, calm but firm. She's just a child. She needs help. She is not a child, the hunter replied. She is a failed prototype. Return her or be erased with her. James took a step forward. You'll have to go through me. The hunter tilted its head, then it moved fast. James swung the pipe, but missed. The hunter knocked him to the ground in one hit. Clara grabbed the stun rod from her toolbox and jabbed it into the hunter's side. Sparks flew. It jerked back, but not far. Take her and run, Clara shouted. James stumbled up. What about you? I'll slow it down. James rushed to the crates, grabbed the girl in his arms, and ran for the back exit. The girl whispered, "More are coming. I can feel them." "I don't care," James said. "We're getting out." Behind them, another window shattered. A second hunter, and then a third. Clara shouted, "Go, James." Now, James burst through the back door into the rain. The girl held on to him weakly, but her eyes were glowing brighter, almost pulsing. "Where do we go?" he asked her, running through narrow alleys. She didn't answer right away. Then, forest. North side, hidden place, safe. "How do you know?" "I don't," she said. "But my body remembers." They didn't have time to question it. Behind them, shadows chased through the rain, quiet, fast, and deadly. James reached the street and jumped into a nearby delivery truck. He had stolen worse. The engine coughed, then roared to life. As he drove, the girl clutched his arm suddenly. Her fingers were ice cold. "What is it?" he asked. Her voice was hollow. "One of them was my creator." James looked at her, stunned. "You know them?" "I don't remember," she said, "but my blood does." James drove faster. The buildings became fewer, the roads rougher. Soon, the city lights faded behind them. Rain poured harder, but the forest ahead gave some cover. James pulled the truck off the road and into the trees. The girl sat up slowly. Her strength was returning. Her golden eyes glowed again, and her voice grew stronger. "This place, yes, it's where I was made." James looked at the silent trees. "You were created here?" She nodded. "Underground. Lab 9, they used to call me Subject Halo." James stared at her. "That's your name?" She shook her head. "No, that's what they called me. But I don't have a name." James put a hand on her shoulder. "You do now. We'll find one." Suddenly, a bright blue flash lit up the sky. A hunter ship hovering above the forest. They found us again, she whispered. James helped her out of the truck. Come on. If you know where this lab is, maybe we can hide inside. She led him through the trees. The forest floor was wet and slippery, but she walked like she'd done it 100 times. Finally, they reached a patch of mossy ground. She knelt and placed her hand on a rock. It blinked, and then the ground opened. A hidden staircase led down into darkness. Welcome home, she whispered. As they descended into the old lab tunnels. The ship above hovered silently, but this time, they weren't just being hunted, they were going back to the place where it all began. Asterisk. The lab didn't smell like dust or chemicals. It smelled like memories. Old ones. Heavy ones. Memories the girl couldn't explain, but her bones remembered. She walked slowly through the dark corridor, one hand sliding across the cracked metal walls. Her fingertips glowed faintly, reacting to panels long forgotten. James followed behind her with a flashlight. Clara, bruised but alive, limped quietly, holding her side. This place, Clara said. It's dead. No, the girl whispered. It's sleeping. A soft hum answered her words. Lights flickered on one by one, like the lab had been waiting for her return. James looked around. There were empty glass chambers lining the hall, big enough to hold people. Some were broken, some still had old dried blood inside. What was this place? He asked. The girl didn't answer, not with words. She walked to a small control room. Dust covered the console, but as she stood near it, the screens came alive. Her golden eyes reflected in the glass. Suddenly files opened. Old recordings. Notes. Charts. Clara stepped closer. These are genetic logs. The girl tilted her head, reading faster than any normal being could. I'm not the only one, she said softly. James blinked. What? There were others. Like me, built, mixed, tested. Her hand hovered over a file named Project Halo. She clicked it. A video played. A human scientist with tired eyes stood in front of the camera. Day 198. Subject Halo cells continue to evolve. Her healing ability is now beyond anything we've seen. She could cure diseases or destroy everything. James and Clara listened in silence. The man continued. The Alien Council fears her potential. They say she's unnatural. But we made her from the best parts of 2 species. If that's wrong, then what are they? The screen glitched, then froze. The girl looked down. He was kind to me. I think he was my father. Clara's eyes widened. Your creator? No, the girl said. My real father, a human. He held me, protected me, taught me words. She turned to James. I think that's why you feel familiar. You remind me of him. James felt a lump in his throat. Clara scanned the girl's blood again. Now that the lab tools were working, the screen showed strange symbols and code like DNA chains. This isn't just blood, Clara said. It's living data. Your body stores knowledge. Maybe even blueprints. For future life, the girl nodded. That's why they fear me. I'm not just a being, I'm a map. A map to what? James asked. To evolution, Clara answered for her. She's the bridge. The connection between human and alien life. A new future. James looked at the girl, really looked. Not as someone broken or weak, but someone powerful. And still so young. Suddenly, the lab's alarm lights blinked red. Intruder detected. Robotic voice echoed. Unauthorized energy signature approaching. They found us, James said. No, the girl replied. He found me. Clara checked the screen. It's not a hunter ship. It's just one person. The girl stepped toward the exit door of the lab. I know who it is, she said. He was the one who ordered my death. James grabbed her arm. You can't face him alone. She looked at him calmly. I'm not alone. You're with me. Clara handed her a small device. This can block his scanners for a short time. Use it wisely, the girl smiled. Thank you. As the metal door opened, cool wind rushed into the lab. Outside, the forest was silent. A tall alien stood in the clearing. Dark cloak, golden armor. Face hidden behind a mask. You survived, he said coldly. A mistake I plan to correct. The girl walked forward. No, she said, voice strong. You were the mistake. You feared what I could become. The man pulled a sleek weapon from his belt. I am the law. I erase what does not belong. You didn't make me, she replied. You only tried to erase me. And then her body shimmered, not glowing, shining. Her veins pulsed with golden light. Her scars faded before their eyes. Clara whispered. From the doorway, she's activating. James stood beside her. No, she's becoming. Asterisk, she didn't blink. She didn't breathe. She just stood there, glowing like a star in human shape. While the man who tried to erase her pointed a weapon at her heart. But she wasn't afraid. Not anymore. James, watching from the shadows of the old lab entrance, whispered to Clara, she's not the same anymore. Clara nodded slowly. She's waking up. As something new. The armored alien, the high officer who once led the secret program, stepped forward. You were never meant to last, he said coldly. You were an experiment. A failed blend of weak human blood and stolen alien genes. The girl tilted, her head slightly. And yet, I'm still standing. I gave you life, he hissed. You gave me pain, she replied. He raised his blaster. Then let me finish the gift. He fired. James gasped. Clara shouted, but the girl didn't. Move. The beam of energy hit her chest and scattered into golden dust. No wound. Not even a burn. Her eyes glowed brighter. Her body shimmered like living light. I'm not just a girl, she said softly. And I'm not your monster. The man stumbled back. Impossible. She took a step forward. And the trees behind him bent from the energy she gave off. I don't want to hurt you, she said. He raised another weapon, shaking now. You're not real. You're wrong. She stepped closer. Then why are you scared? He screamed and rushed at her. But this time, she raised her hand. A soft wave of golden energy burst from her palm, and the man froze. Midair, suspended, trapped in a glowing net. James ran out. What did you do to him? She looked at him. I didn't break him. I only show him what he fears most. Clara joined them, eyes wide. What does he see? The girl turned her golden eyes on Clara. Himself. Behind them, the net faded. The man collapsed, shaking. Kill me, he gasped. If you let me live, they'll send worse. I'm not like you, she said. I don't destroy what I hate. She turned away, but the man pulled a hidden blade from his boot and lunged at her back. Before James could shout, the girl spun, caught his wrist midair, and in a flash of golden light, turned his blade into flowers. Soft, glowing alien blossoms fell to the ground, gently landing at her feet. He collapsed to his knees, defeated, not by force, but by mercy. She looked down at him. That's the difference between you and me. James walked over slowly. What now? She looked up at the sky. There are more, others like him, and others like me. You want to fight them? He asked. No, she whispered. I want to find them. Before they get erased too. Clara placed a hand on her shoulder. You're strong. But you're still young. You can't do this alone. The girl looked between Clara and James. I don't want to be a weapon, she said. I want to be someone. James nodded. Then be someone who saves, not destroys. Her lips curved into the smallest smile. You still want a name? She asked him. James thought for a moment. Yeah, I do. He looked at her glowing skin, her fierce spirit, and her soft heart. Then he said, let's call you Hope, because that's what you've given all of us. She blinked, then whispered the name, Hope. She closed her eyes. The light inside her faded to soft gold. Not gone. Balanced. She was no longer a girl, hiding from her past. That no longer just a broken project. That she was becoming something more. Something human and something alien, but most of all, something beautiful. Her chains were gone now, not metal ones. The invisible kind, the ones made of shame, silence, and someone else's idea of what she was meant to be. Now she stood at the edge of the forest. The morning light touched her face for the first time without fear. No one held her hand, and she didn't need them to. She walked on her own. James stood a few steps behind, watching with quiet pride. She's different now, Clara whispered beside him. James nodded. She's free. Hope, the girl who had once been left to die outside a hospital like garbage, now walked barefoot through wet grass, her golden eyes bright and clear. She had slept the night peacefully for the first time in her life. No voices in her head. No pain in her body, only purpose. She stopped beside an old tree and placed her hand on the bark. Golden light pulsed beneath her skin and flowed into the tree like gentle electricity. The leaves turned brighter. The bark grew softer. The tree whispered, back alive in a way it had never been before. James stepped closer. Did you heal it? Hope smiled. I gave it what I had left. Clara raised an eyebrow. You can't do that too often. You'll burn yourself out. I know, Hope said, but it's worth it. They sat together beneath the tree. For a long time none of them spoke. Finally, Hope broke the silence. I remember now. More than before. Clara leaned forward. What do you remember? There was a boy in another lab, younger than me. We were made from the same project. Another hybrid? James asked. Hope nodded. They called him Ash. I don't know what happened to him, but I feel him. He's still out there. James looked at Clara. Then we find him. Hope turned to them both. You've already done enough. You gave me more than anyone else ever did. A name, a chance, a choice. She stood up and looked to the horizon. I have to find the others now, the forgotten ones. The ones like me, who still believe their mistakes. James swallowed hard. You're leaving? Hope nodded. Not to run, to build, to help. To show them that they are not monsters. Clara stepped forward. You'll need supplies, tools, something. More than hope. Hope smiled. Hope is just the beginning. She walked toward the river that curved through the woods. A small boat waited there, one she built from scrap and parts. James found for her. She stopped at the edge of the water. Turned one last time. Will you wait for me? She asked softly. James nodded. Always. Clara added, and we'll keep the lab safe, in case you ever want to come back home. Hope smiled, and then she stepped into the boat. No hesitation, no fear, just strength. The current was slow, gentle. Like even the river respected her now. She didn't look back again. She didn't have to, because for the first time in her life, she wasn't running away from something. She was walking toward her destiny, on her own.